Okay guys, so I found another jack stand, and just to show you the differences here so you can see what I'm getting at. This one here is on the right, is straight cut across, and the one on the left of course has a B-notch. So this one that's straight across is probably the better approach. I should be able to sit that flat down in a specific angle and get equal pressure on both sides of the ball joint, as opposed to going side by side by side, flicking back and forth with this one. So that's what I'm going to try. Put this guy here and see if I can make better use of it. And we'll set this one aside for now. So that really should make a difference, mostly, I think. So it's hard to give you a clear-cut picture of that, but essentially, there's the bottom of the ball joint. It's flat across, and this jack stand is pretty much flat across. So I'm trying to get pressure on that ball joint by using this specific jack stand. Now as I drop that, that will move in a little bit, so I'm going to set that on the inside a little more than the outside. And as I was saying, guys, positioning of the jack is critical. If you're going to use a jack stand, I should say the jack stand, that's critical, the position of that. So I'm going to try to set this down in such a way that I have equal pressure on both sides, I'm hoping, like so. Now, back to the hammer. And once again, it wants to go sideways. Kind of in the ballpark here, but not quite where we want to be. I'm going to set it down right there. Again, I'm back to using the edge as opposed to the whole flat structure. A lot of pressure on it right there. If it wasn't for that boot, I'd smack it good, but I don't want to bust that boot. By George, we're almost there. Almost there, guys. Damn close. So what you got to look for is you got to make sure that, let's see if I can get that where you can see that, guys. Where are we here? Where are we? Up in there. No, still not seeing it. Okay. Yeah, I guess we are. So essentially what we're looking at is that gap up in there. It's got to be closed up. See that gap? It's probably hard for you to see, and I can't really put my finger in there. But there's a little bit of a gap there that's got to close up. Once we've got that all the way around, then we're good. So right now, it's more toward the back side here. Right about there. If I can get it there without knocking it out everywhere else, then I'll have it. Where I want that, I think. Boy, she's coming close, guys. Coming close. She's still a little bit out in the back. If you look at the top, you can tell. You see there, there's a little bit of a rim there sticking up. Well, that rim needs to stick up at the back as well. We've got to get that rim up there in the back as well. Once again, we'll use the iPhone as a mirror. The camera going. Reverse the camera. Okay. Now, some light back in here. Under there, whatever. Key is to get that light in there where I can see. Boys, I think she's in. I don't think she's off much at all. she's pretty close. I'm just going to give her a few more convincing whacks just to satisfy myself. Then I'm going to say it's in. You know, some pressure on it. A couple more good whacks with the hammer. And I think we're good to go. Then I just got to clean the dust and shit that I got in there out, because that'll destroy that ball joint quickly if it's left there. I'm satisfied that ball joint is in place. We'll look at it from the other side too, just to be sure. Alright, let's clean her out a little bit here. First off, I want to get the flecks of rust out of there. There's a few flecks of rust that fell down inside. I think maybe what would work really well on that would be, if I can find it, would be the needle nose pliers, guys. They're good for something. Really good for that. It's a blast of air, but we'd get a lot of maybe a lot of grease flying around. We don't want that. So we'll just kind of go around here with that. Should do. I think that's a whole lot cleaner than what it was last time I put it together. So now the next thing is to remember this boot. This boot's got to go on before you put the rest of the stuff on her. That boot's not on, you got to run into problems. So now, guys, I'm going to undo my wire here that I've got in place to hold this, because now I want to be able to have this drop down. I've got to be able to have it drop down. And it's got to be maneuverable. So we'll get rid of that wire for now. All right. So what I want to do is I want to put this to the other side now, so I can investigate this side and make sure it looks good. And I would say yes, that looks really good. She looks like she's in place there really well. So I'm happy with that. So on goes the boot. Put the boot on here right away. And then I'm going to drop this. Then I'm going to drop the steering knuckle right down on top of that. Now these boots are supposed to fit down tight, but they are really hard to put on. Not much I can tell you for sure. You get a big enough socket on that, you can drive her down, but I don't have a big enough socket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you for a second.